They laughed when the skinny horse was pushed to the center of the auction, calling him too weak to sell. While everyone else looked away, a little girl stepped forward in silence, touched his muzzle, and noticed something no one else saw. When she made her choice, her hands began to tremble and the entire auction fell into complete silence. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comment where you're watching from, because now I'm going to tell you everything. The air was thick and hot. It smelled like dry dirt and old hay. "That old thing's too weak to sell. He's dog food," a big man with a red face shouted. His name was Roy. He pointed a thick finger at a horse in the middle of the auction ring. The horse was a dusty brown color. He was very thin. You could see his ribs. His head was low. He stood perfectly still, as if he was too tired to care about the noise. Holding his rope was a man named Jasper. Jasper looked at his own boots. He did not like the shouting, but he said nothing. He just tightened his grip on the rope. He thought, everyone goes to the glue factory in the end. The crowd of people laughed. They nodded at Roy's words. In the middle of that crowd was a little girl named Lily. She was 6 years old. She held her dad's big hand. The loud noise and the laughing made her want to hide, but her eyes were stuck on the brown horse. She saw how his sides went in and out with slow breaths. She saw a deep, ugly scar on his front leg, and she saw his eyes. They were big and brown and very calm. They were not mean eyes. They were sad eyes. They were tired eyes. She let go of her dad's hand. "Lily," her dad Mike said, but Lily did not hear him. She walked. She walked past the legs of the laughing people. She walked right up to the metal fence around the auction ring. She reached her small hand through the bars. The horse, Boone, lifted his head just a little. One ear turned toward the small movement. He saw the little girl. He did not move away. He took one slow step forward. He lowered his long face until his soft nose touched her fingers. Lily did not pull her hand back. She gently touched his face, right between his eyes. "It's okay," she whispered, so quiet only the horse could hear. "You're so tired. I see you." Boone let out a soft puff of air. He closed his eyes for a second. Jasper, the man holding the rope, watched this. "Oh, don't do that, kid," he muttered to himself. "You're just gonna get your heart broke." The auction man started talking fast. "What do I hear for this horse? Do I hear $20? 10? Come on, folks. He's got some life left." No one said a word. Roy crossed his arms and smiled. Lily turned and ran back to her dad. She pulled on his jeans. "Please, Dad," she said, her blue eyes wide and serious. "Please buy him." Mike looked down at his daughter. He looked at the skinny horse. He sighed. It was a big sigh. "Lily, honey, look at him. He's skin and bones. He might be sick." "He's not sick," Lily said. "He's hungry. And he's sad." "He won't be any good for work on the farm," Mike said. "I don't need him to work," Lily whispered. "He just needs to come home. Please. He's the one." Mike looked at his daughter's face. He saw the truth in it. He looked at the horse, who was now watching Lily again. He looked at the crowd, still smirking. He made a decision. $5, Mike called out. The auction man looked surprised. "Sold, for $5 to the gentleman with the little girl." The crowd got quiet. The laughing stopped. Now they just shook their heads. They thought Mike was a fool. Roy laughed a loud, harsh laugh. "Good luck with that, buddy. You just bought yourself a big problem." Mike ignored him. He walked into the ring and gave Jasper $5. He took the rope from Jasper's hand. Jasper looked at the money. He looked at Mike, then at Lily. His tired eyes softened just a little. "Well, I'll be," he said quietly, almost to himself. He walked away, shaking his head too, but for a different reason. Lily did not wait. She walked right up to Boone. Mike held the rope tight, just in case, but Boone just lowered his head to Lily's level again. "His name is Boone," Mike said, reading a worn tag on the rope. "Hello, Boone," Lily said. She put her small hand on his neck. "You're coming home with us." Mike led Boone out of the ring. The horse walked slowly, his hooves making a soft sound in the dirt. He walked right beside Lily, matching her small steps. They loaded him into their old horse trailer. He walked in without a fuss. He was very calm. As Mike started the truck to drive back to their farm in Kansas, he looked in the mirror. He saw the horse standing quietly in the trailer. He saw his daughter's smiling face, watching Boone through the little window. Mike wondered if he had made a big mistake. He had a small farm. He did not have money for a vet if the horse was sick. He did not have money for special food. But Lily was sure. She was so sure. All she said on the long drive home was, "He wasn't weak, Dad. He was just waiting for us." Mike hoped with all his heart that his little girl was right. The farm in Kansas was quiet. The only sounds were the wind in the tall grass and the crickets at night. For Boone, the quiet was a gift. The noisy auction was far away. The first morning, Mike led Boone to a small pasture. The grass was green. "Let's just let him get used to things," Mike said to Lily. "We'll take it slow." Lily did not want to take it slow. She had a brush and a bucket of water ready. As soon as Mike closed the gate, she climbed over the fence. "Lily, be careful," Mike said. He stayed close to the fence, watching. Boone stood in the middle of the field. He watched the little girl walk toward him. He did not move. Lily stopped a few steps away. She held out her hand. "It's just me, Boone." Boone took one step, then another. He lowered his head and sniffed her hair. He let out a soft sound. "See, Dad? He knows me," Lily said. She started to brush him. She brushed his neck very gently. She brushed his back where the dust from the auction was still stuck. Boone stood very still, his eyes half closed. Mike watched. He had seen many horses. He had never seen a horse look so peaceful so fast. "Okay," he said. "You can brush him, but I'm handling the food. We need to fatten him up slow or he'll get sick." Every day was the same. Lily went to school, but as soon as she came home, she ran to the pasture. She brushed Boone. She talked to him. She told him about her day. "Today we learned about clouds," she said, brushing his side. "That one looks like a rabbit. Do you see it?" Boone would look where she pointed. He would snort. She helped her dad measure his grain. 2 scoops in the morning, 2 scoops at night. Fresh water all day, clean hay. After 1 week, Mike stood at the fence. He looked at Boone. "You know," he said to Lily, "I think he looks a little better. His coat is shinier." "He feels better," Lily said. She was sitting on the top fence rail. Boone stood beside her, letting her lean on his neck. "He's still not very strong," Mike said. "He just stands there all day. A good farm horse should be moving around." "He's happy just being with me," Lily said. Mike smiled. "I believe you." One afternoon, a week later, something changed. Lily was walking from the house to the pasture. She carried 2 carrots. Boone saw her from across the field. He lifted his head. He let out a soft whinny. Then he started to walk toward her. Not a slow walk, a fast, happy walk. Mike was fixing the tractor nearby. He saw this. He stopped his work. He watched. Boone met Lily at the gate. He nudged her pocket where the carrots were. Lily laughed. "You have to wait." She gave him 1 carrot. He crunched it loudly. Then she climbed over the gate. Instead of going to get his brush, she started to walk toward the big oak tree at the back of the field. "Come on, Boone," she said. And Boone followed her. He walked right behind her, his head low, his steps matching hers. He followed her to the tree. She sat down in the shade. He grazed on the grass next to her. Mike walked over to the fence. He was surprised. "He follows you." "He always follows me," Lily said, as if it was normal. "Like a big dog," Mike said. "He's better than a dog," Lily said. She patted Boone's leg. Mike nodded slowly. He looked at the horse. Boone was still thin, but he was no longer a bag of bones. His eyes were bright. He watched Lily all the time. When a bird flew by too fast, Boone's head went up. He watched the bird until it was gone. Then he looked back at Lily. "He's watching out for you," Mike said. "I know," Lily said. "I watch out for him too." That evening, after dinner, Mike and Lily sat on the porch. The sky was orange and pink. Boone was in his stall in the barn for the night. "I was wrong about him, Lily," Mike said. "I thought he was just a tired old horse, but he's got a good heart. I see that now." Lily smiled a big smile. "I told you." "You did," Mike said. "But he's still not very strong. He's gentle. He's sweet. But if a real problem came, I don't know what he would do." Just then, from the neighbor's farm down the road, they heard a dog bark. It was a mean, sharp bark. It barked 3 times. Then it stopped. Boone, inside the barn, let out a loud snort. They heard him move in his stall. Mike and Lily looked at each other. "He heard that," Lily said. "He's just not used to the sounds here yet," Mike said. But he looked toward the neighbor's house. Their dog was big and often got loose. "Tomorrow, I'll remind the Millers to check their chain." Lily looked toward the dark barn. She thought about Boone standing in his stall, listening. She knew he wasn't scared. He was listening to keep her safe. "He's strong, Dad," she whispered. "You just have to know how to look." Mike put his arm around her. "Maybe you're right. Maybe we just have to wait and see." The next afternoon was hot and still. Lily was in the pasture with Boone. She was trying to teach him to take an apple slice from her flat hand without nudging her. "Gentle, Boone, just your lips," she said. Boone's nose twitched. He carefully took the apple with just his front teeth. Lily giggled. From the porch, Mike watched them. He was drinking a glass of cold water. He thought about what Lily had said. "He's strong. You just have to know how to look." Mike was starting to believe it. Boone looked better every day. Suddenly, from down the road, there was a loud bang. Then a man's angry shout. "Buddy, come back here." Mike stood up. He knew that shout. It was Mr. Miller. His dog, a big mix named Buddy, must have gotten loose again. Lily heard the noise too. She turned her head to look toward the road. Buddy came around the corner of the Miller's house. He was running fast. He was not on his chain. He saw Lily and Boone in the field. He changed direction. He ran straight for their fence, barking a deep, rough bark. "Lily," Mike said. His voice was calm but firm. "Come to the porch, now." Lily looked at the dog. It was jumping at their fence. The fence was old wood. It shook. She felt her feet stuck to the ground. "Lily, move!" Mike yelled. He started to run down the porch steps. The wood on the top fence rail cracked. Buddy pushed through. He was in the pasture. His eyes were on Lily. He barked and ran straight at her. Lily could not move. She could not scream. She saw the dog's teeth. She saw it spit. She closed her eyes. Boone moved. 1 second he was beside Lily. The next second he was in front of her. He did not walk. He leaped. His thin body was suddenly huge. He planted himself between Lily and the dog. He slammed his front hoof down on the ground. Asterisk thud. Asterisk. The earth shook. He threw his head up and let out a sound. It was not a whinny. It was a loud, angry scream. It was a noise Mike had never heard a horse make. Buddy skidded to a stop. The dog's barks turned into surprised yelps. He looked up at the giant, noisy animal in front of him. Boone stomped his hoof again. He bared his teeth. He took one big step forward, his neck arched and powerful. The dog turned and ran. It squeezed back through the broken fence and kept running down the road. Everything was quiet. Boone's sides were heaving. He turned his head. He looked at Lily. He nudged her shoulder with his nose, a quick, worried touch. Lily opened her eyes. She saw Boone's wide, dark eye looking at her. She threw her arms around his neck and held on tight. She started to cry. Mike reached them. He put one hand on Lily's back and one hand on Boone's sweaty neck. He was breathing hard. He looked at the horse. Boone was still standing tall, his ears pointed toward the road where the dog had gone. He was protecting Lily. He was ready to do it again. "It's okay, buddy. It's okay," Mike said to the horse, his voice full of wonder. He looked from the fierce, alert animal back to his daughter, safe against the horse's side. "You were right, Lily," Mike whispered. "I was wrong. All wrong." Lily looked up, her face wet with tears. "Is Boone okay?" "Boone is more than okay," Mike said. He stepped back and looked at the horse from head to hoof. Boone finally relaxed. He lowered his head and breathed a deep sigh onto Lily's hair. That dog would have hurt you," Mike said. But Boone stopped him. He was so fast and so brave. "He protects me," Lily said simply. "He does," Mike said. He reached out and ran his hand down Boone's scarred leg. "This horse, he's not what we thought. He's not weak. He was just tired and hungry before. Underneath all that, he's a guardian." Mike fixed the broken fence rail with strong nails. He worked quietly, thinking. Every few moments he looked over at the pasture. Lily was sitting under the oak tree. Boone was grazing beside her, but his head was up. He was watching the road. He was watching the trees. He was watching over Lily. That night, after Lily was in bed, Mike went out to the barn. Boone was eating his hay. Mike leaned on the stall door. "I owe you an apology, fella," Mike said softly. I thought you were just a burden, but you saved my little girl today. You're part of this family." Boone stopped eating. He walked to the stall door and pressed his forehead against Mike's chest. Mike patted his neck. "You're a good horse," Mike said. "A really good horse." He walked back to the house, a new feeling in his chest. It was respect, and a lot of questions. Where did a horse learn to be so brave? What kind of life did he have before that made him so ready to protect? He looked at the telephone. He thought about calling the previous owner, the tired man from the auction, but he decided not to. The past was the past. Boone was theirs now. What Mike didn't know was that the past was not done with Boone, and it was coming to find him. A week passed. The memory of the barking dog began to fade. Boone was gaining weight. His coat was smooth and shiny. He followed Lily everywhere. One Tuesday morning, a brown sheriff's truck came up the gravel driveway. It moved slow, kicking up dust. Mike was fixing the hinge on the barn door. He saw the truck and stood up. He wiped his hands on his jeans. A woman got out. She wore a tan uniform. She had a serious face. Her name was Sheriff Hayes. She looked at the house, then her eyes moved to the pasture. Lily was in the field. She was brushing Boone's back. Boone's head was up. He was watching the new truck. Sheriff Hayes did not walk toward Mike. She took 2 steps toward the fence. She stared at Boone. Her mouth opened. She took off her sunglasses. "Well, I'll be," she said quietly. Then she said it louder. "I will be." Mike walked over to her. "Can I help you, Sheriff?" Sheriff Hayes pointed at Boone. "That horse, where did you get that horse?" Mike felt a twist in his stomach. Did someone say they stole him? "We bought him at the Tulsa auction about 3 weeks back. His name is Boone. Is there a problem?" "Boone?" The sheriff shook her head. She let out a short laugh that held no humor. "His name isn't Boone. That is Lightning's Valor." Lily heard the words. She stopped brushing. She walked over, holding Boone's lead rope. Boone came with her. "His name is Boone," Lily said softly. Sheriff Hayes looked at Lily. Her face softened. "I'm sure you call him that, honey, and that's okay. But I know this horse. I would know him anywhere. That scar." She pointed to the jagged mark on his leg. "And those eyes. I never forgot those eyes." Mike looked confused. "Lightning's Valor? What are you talking about?" "Can we sit?" Sheriff Hayes asked, nodding to the porch. They sat on the porch steps. Lily stayed close to Boone, her arm around his neck. The horse stood perfectly still, his ears forward, listening. 5 years ago, Sheriff Hayes began, there was a huge wildfire. It was in the mountains of Colorado. A ranch was in the path of the fire. The family got out, but 3 of their kids got separated. They were trapped in a canyon with smoke all around them. Lily's grip on Boone tightened. "The ranch had a stock horse," the sheriff continued. "A brave, smart horse. He was trained to work cattle, but he loved those kids. When the rancher couldn't find them, he turned the horse loose, hoping he'd go to them. And he did. That horse found those children in that smoky canyon. He led them out. He walked right through the heat and the embers. He got them to a road where help was waiting." Mike looked at Boone. The horse was looking at the distant trees as if remembering. "How did he get the scar?" Lily whispered. "A burning fence rail fell," Sheriff Hayes said. "It caught his leg as he jumped over it to get the kids to safety. He never stopped. He just kept leading them. After the fire, he was a hero. They wrote about him in papers. They called him Lightning's Valor." "What happened?" Mike asked. "How did he end up in a Tulsa auction?" Sheriff Hayes sighed. "The ranch was burned. The family had to move away. They sent Valor to a friend's farm to recover. But there was a bad flood there. Fences broke. Many animals got loose. Valor was one of them. He just disappeared. Everyone thought he died in the flood or out on the plains. They searched, but after a year, they gave up. He must have wandered, been found by someone who didn't know, sold and traded." She looked at Boone with deep sadness. "All this time, he ended up here." Everyone was quiet. The only sound was Boone chewing grass. "He saved my Lily," Mike said, his voice thick. "Just last week, a dog came at her. Boone put himself between them. He was so fast, so brave." Sheriff Hayes nodded. "That sounds exactly like him. It's in his heart. It's who he is. He's not just a horse. He's a protector." Lily buried her face in Boone's neck. "You saved those children too," she whispered to him. Boone lowered his head and rested his chin on top of her head. "So, what happens now?" Mike asked. He felt fear. Could someone take him away? Sheriff Hayes saw the fear on his face. "Nothing happens. You bought him fair and square. The family that owned him moved to Oregon. They have a new life. I'll let them know he's safe. That's all they ever wanted to know. That he was safe and loved." She looked at Lily hugging the horse. "It's clear he is." She stood up. "He's your horse, Mike. You have a hero in your pasture. Just love him. That's what he deserves." Sheriff Hayes got in her truck and left. Mike and Lily stood with Boone for a long time. Mike thought about the story. A wildfire, lost children, a burning fence. It was a big story for their small farm. "He's even more special than we knew," Mike said. Lily nodded. "He always was. We just didn't know the whole story." They did not know that stories have a way of traveling. The next day, Sheriff Hayes called the old ranch family in Oregon to give them the good news. She also told the story to her deputy over coffee at the local diner. A reporter from the county newspaper was sitting at the next booth. He heard every word. 3 days later, Mike went into town to buy nails. He stopped at the small grocery store. An older woman at the checkout counter stared at him. She smiled. "You're that fella, aren't you?" she said. "With the hero horse." Mike felt his face get warm. Well, I read all about it in the paper," the woman said. She held up the weekly County Chronicle. Right on the front page was a picture. It was a photo of Boone in his pasture. The headline read, "Local hero, lost fire rescue horse found safe in Kansas." Mike bought his nails and the newspaper. His hands shook a little as he took it. When he got home, Lily was doing her homework at the kitchen table. Mike put the paper down in front of her. "Look," he said. Lily saw the picture of Boone. She saw the headline. She slowly read the words out loud. "Lost fire rescue horse." She looked up at her dad, her eyes huge. "Everyone knows now." "Everyone knows," Mike said. That evening, they listened to the local radio station while eating dinner. The man on the radio was talking about the weather. Then he said, "And in a heartwarming follow-up to a story from our front page, the celebrated horse Lightnings of Valor, missing for 5 years, has been found right here in our county. The horse, now called Boone, was purchased at auction by local farmer Mike Fletcher and his young daughter Lily." Mike turned the radio off. The kitchen felt very quiet. "It's a good story, Dad," Lily said. "It's a happy story." "It is," Mike said. But a worried feeling was growing in his stomach. "I just like our quiet life. I don't like all this attention." The phone rang. It was a reporter from a big newspaper in Wichita. He wanted to come take more pictures. Mike said no, thank you. The phone rang again. It was a woman from a television station in Topeka. Mike said no again. "Why can't they leave us alone?" he said after hanging up. "They think Boone is special," Lily said. "He is special," Mike said. "But he's ours. He's not a TV star." Hundreds of miles away, in Oklahoma, a man named Roy was driving his big, dirty truck. He was tired from a long day. He turned on the radio to listen to the news. He heard the end of a report about a new road being built. Then the announcer said, "And in a stunning piece of news, a horse once sold for mere dollars at a Tulsa auction has been identified as a famous equine hero. The horse, Lightning's Valor, was believed lost after the Colorado wildfires 5 years ago." Roy's foot slipped off the gas pedal. The truck jerked. Purchased by a Kansas family for his young daughter, the horse has found a peaceful home after years of hardship. Experts say a horse with such a pedigree and history could now be valued in the tens of thousands of dollars. Roy pulled his truck over to the side of the road. His face turned a dark red. He hit the steering wheel with his palm. "No," he growled. "No, no, no." He thought about the dusty auction. He thought about the skinny brown horse. He thought about the man from Kansas and his little girl. He had laughed at them. He had called the horse dog food. And now they had a horse worth more money than Roy made in a whole year. It was not fair. He saw the horse first. He was there. That horse should have been ***. The Kansas man stole it from him. He paid nothing for it. $5. Roy sat in his truck, breathing hard. The radio kept talking about the miracle horse and the little girl who saved him. Roy felt sick with anger. He thought about the Kansas farm. It was small. The man was just a farmer. The fence was old wood. It would be easy. A plan started to form in Roy's mind. It was a bad plan. It was an angry plan. But to Roy, it seemed simple and right. That horse was worth a fortune. It belonged to him. He would just go and take what was his. He didn't think about Lily. He didn't think about Mike. He only thought about the money. He thought about the big ranch he could buy with that money. He thought about everyone who laughed at him at the auction. They would see. He started his truck again. He turned it around. He was not going home. He needed to make a stop first. He needed to get a horse trailer, a quiet one. Then he would drive to Kansas. He would go at night. No one would see him. He would take the horse, drive back to Oklahoma, and sell him to someone far away before anyone knew what happened. Roy smiled a mean smile. It was a perfect plan. The moon was a thin sliver in the sky. It was very late. The Fletcher farm was completely dark and quiet. A truck with no headlights rolled slowly down the gravel road. It stopped far from the house. The engine turned off. Roy sat in the driver's seat for a minute. He listened. He heard crickets. He heard the wind. He did not hear any people. He got out. He had a rope and a halter in his hands. He had done this before. He walked toward the pasture fence. His boots were quiet on the grass. Boone was asleep in the far corner of the field. He was lying down, but his ears twitched. A new sound had woken him. The sound of a truck engine, then silence. The sound of careful footsteps. Boone stood up. He was very still. He looked into the darkness. Roy reached the wooden gate. He saw the dark shape of the horse across the field. "There you are," he whispered. He put his hands on the latch. The metal latch made a soft asterisk click asterisk. Boone's head shot up. He knew that sound. It was the wrong sound. It was not the click of Mike or Lily coming to see him in the morning. It was a sneaky sound, a hiding sound. He knew the man's smell too. It was the smell of the auction, the smell of loud laughter and meanness. Boone let out a loud, sharp whinny. It was not a friendly sound. It was a warning. It was an alarm. In her bedroom, Lily opened her eyes. She had been dreaming about apples. The sound cut through her dream. She sat up in bed. Boone never made that sound at night. She slipped out of bed and went to her window. She looked out at the pasture. At first, she saw only darkness. Then she saw a big dark shape moving near the gate. A man. Boone whinnied again, stomping his foot. The man at the gate cursed. "Shut up, you stupid animal," Roy muttered. He fumbled with the latch, trying to open it faster. Lily's heart beat very fast. She knew who it was. She remembered the red face and the mean laugh. It was Roy, the man from the auction. He was here to take Boone. She did not think. She turned and ran out of her room. She did not go to her dad's room. There was no time. She ran down the stairs. She ran out the front door. Her bare feet were quiet on the porch. Mike was a deep sleeper. He heard nothing yet. Lily ran across the yard. The grass was cold and wet. She could see Roy more clearly now. He had the gate open. He was walking into the pasture holding the halter. "Boone," Lily shouted. Her voice was small but clear in the quiet night. "You go away." Roy spun around. He saw the little girl in her white pajamas. He was surprised. Then he was angry. "Go back to bed, kid," he snarled. "This doesn't concern you." "You leave my horse alone," Lily said. She planted her feet on the ground near the fence. Roy took a step toward her. "He's not your horse. He's mine. I'm taking him back. Now get out of my way before you get hurt." Boone saw the man move toward Lily. A new sound came from Boone's chest, a deep rumbling snort. He started to walk toward them. His head was low. His eyes were fixed on Roy. Roy saw the horse coming. He moved quickly. He reached out and grabbed Lily's arm. He did not grab hard, but it was tight. He pulled her to the side, away from the gate. "Just stay put," he said. The moment Roy's hand touched Lily's arm, Boone stopped walking. Everything became very quiet. Then Boone reared up. His front legs kicked the air. He was huge against the night sky. He came down hard. His front hoof hit the top fence post next to Roy. The old wood cracked like a gunshot. Roy yelled and jumped back, letting go of Lily's arm. Boone did not rear again. He put his head down and charged. He did not run to trample Roy. He ran to push him, to scare him, to get him away from Lily. Roy stumbled backward. He fell onto the grass. He scrambled to his feet. He looked at the horse, then at the little girl. All his angry plans disappeared. All he felt was raw animal fear. He turned and ran. He ran through the open gate. He did not stop to close it. He ran to his truck. He got in. He started the engine. He turned on the headlights, blinding bright in the darkness. He spun the truck around on the gravel and sped away down the road. Lily stood by the broken fence post, breathing hard. Boone came to her side immediately. He nudged her with his nose, sniffing her arm where Roy had grabbed it. "I'm okay, Boone," she whispered. She wrapped her arms around his neck. "I'm okay. You scared him away." The porch light of the house turned on. The front door flew open. "Lily!" Mike's voice was full of sleep and panic. "Lily, where are you?" "Here, Dad," Lily called. "By the pasture." Mike ran across the yard in his bare feet. He saw the open gate. He saw the broken post. He saw his daughter holding onto their horse. "What happened? What was that noise?" he asked, kneeling in front of her. "It was Roy," Lily said. Her voice was calm now. "He came to steal Boone. Boone stopped him." Mike looked at the broken wood. He looked at the tire tracks on the gravel. He looked at his daughter's determined face in the porch light. He knew she was telling the truth. He pulled her into a tight hug. Then he put a hand on Boone's sweaty shoulder. "You did it again," Mike said to the horse. "Thank you." He stood up, holding Lily's hand. "Come on, let's get inside. We need to call Sheriff Hayes, right now." The phone rang in the quiet sheriff's office. Sheriff Hayes was drinking coffee and writing a report. She picked up the phone. "Sheriff Hayes." "Sheriff, it's Mike Fletcher. He's here, the man from the auction, Roy. He was just here. He tried to take Boone." Sheriff Hayes stood up. "Is everyone okay? Is Lily okay?" "She's okay. Shaken up, but okay. Boone protected her. He broke the fence to scare the man off. Roy took off in his truck." "I'm on my way," Sheriff Hayes said. "Don't touch anything by that fence. I'll be there in 10 minutes. True to her word, her truck pulled into the driveway in 10 minutes. The porch light was on. Mike and Lily were waiting for her. Lily was wearing a robe over her pajamas. Sheriff Hayes got out. She saw the open gate and the broken post. She walked over and looked at the ground with her flashlight. She saw the deep scuff marks from Boone's hooves. She saw a man's boot print in the soft dirt. "Tell me everything," she said. Lily spoke first. Her voice was clear. "I heard Boone make a noise. It was a scared noise. I looked out my window. I saw a man at the gate. It was Roy. I went outside. I told him to go away." "You went outside by yourself?" Sheriff Hayes asked gently. "I had to. He was going to take Boone." "Then what happened?" "He told me to get out of the way. He said Boone was his horse. He grabbed my arm." Lily pointed to her left arm. "Right here. Then Boone got mad. He jumped up and broke the fence." She pointed to the splintered wood. "Then Boone ran at him, not to hit him, to make him leave. Roy fell down. Then he ran to his truck and drove away." Sheriff Hayes looked at Mike. "Is that how you saw it?" Mike nodded. "I slept through the first part. I woke up to the sound of the wood breaking. By the time I got outside, Roy's truck was tearing down the road. Lily was right here with Boone." The sheriff walked over to Lily. "Can I see your arm, honey?" Lily showed her arm. In the porch light, they could all see it now. Faint red marks in the shape of a man's fingers on her pale skin. Sheriff Hayes' mouth became a thin, hard line. "Okay, that's enough for me." She looked at the boot print again. He was wearing work boots. The tread is common, but the size is big. That matches Roy Dawson. She turned to Mike. "You said he drove away. Which way?" Mike pointed east, down the road. "That way, toward the state highway." "He's probably heading back to Oklahoma," Sheriff Hayes said. "But he might think he's safe and stop for the night. His ranch is about a 4-hour drive from here." She looked at her watch. "If he left half an hour ago, he's just getting to the highway. I can call the highway patrol, give them his truck description. We can catch him before he crosses the state line." She went to her truck and got on the radio. Mike and Lily could hear her voice, but not the words. Boone stood close to Lily, his head over her shoulder. After a few minutes, Sheriff Hayes came back. "Highway patrol is looking for him. They'll stop him and hold him for me. I'm going to drive over there now." She looked at Boone. "You're a good horse. You protected your girl." "Is he in trouble?" Lily asked. "Roy?" "Yes, Lily," Sheriff Hayes said. "He is in a lot of trouble. He came onto your property in the middle of the night. That's trespassing. He tried to steal your horse. That's theft. And he put his hands on you. That's another very serious thing. He won't be bothering you again." Lily nodded. She reached up and put her hand on Boone's neck. "You were very brave, Lily," the sheriff said. "But you know what? Next time you wake up your dad first. Let him be the first one out the door, okay?" "Okay," Lily said. Sheriff Hayes got in her truck. "I'll call you when I have him. Try to get some sleep." Mike put his arm around Lily as the sheriff's truck disappeared down the dark road. The night was quiet again. "She's right, you know," Mike said. "You were so brave, but my heart almost stopped when I realized you were out here alone." "I wasn't alone," Lily said, looking at Boone. "I was with Boone." Mike had to smile. "You were, and he was with you." He looked at the broken fence. "We'll fix that in the morning. For tonight, let's put Boone in the barn. I'll feel better with him locked up safe." They led Boone to the barn. He walked calmly into his stall. Lily gave him one last goodnight pat. As they walked back to the house, a pair of headlights appeared far down the road. It was not the sheriff. It was just a car passing by. But it made Mike think. People were going to hear about this. The story was getting bigger. It wasn't just about a lost hero horse anymore. Now it was about a thief in the night and a little girl who stood up to him. He knew the quiet life was over. The highway was a long, dark ribbon under the moon. Sheriff Hayes drove fast, her red and blue lights flashing silently. Her radio crackled. "Unit 7, this is Highway Patrol. We have a visual on the suspect vehicle. Black pickup, Oklahoma plates. He's just past mile marker 117. He is not speeding." "Copy," Sheriff Hayes said. "I am 2 minutes behind you. Please initiate a traffic stop. Use caution. Suspect is wanted for attempted burglary, attempted theft of livestock, and assault on a minor." "Copy that, Unit 7. Up ahead, Roy saw the flashing lights in his rearview mirror. His heart sank. He thought about speeding up, but he knew it was useless. He pulled his truck over to the shoulder of the road. 2 highway patrol cars parked behind him. Officers got out. They approached his truck slowly, their hands on their pistols. "Step out of the vehicle, sir," one officer said. Roy opened the door. He got out. He tried to sound normal. "What's the problem, officers? Was I speeding?" "Place your hands on the hood of the truck, please." Roy did as he was told. The officer patted him down. "We have a report of an incident at a farm back in Wilson County, involving a horse. Does that sound familiar?" "That's a mistake," Roy said quickly. "A big mistake. I was just visiting a friend." "At 3 in the morning?" the officer asked. Just then, Sheriff Hayes' truck arrived. She got out and walked up. Her boots crunched on the gravel. Roy saw her and his shoulders slumped. "Roy Dawson," Sheriff Hayes said, "you've had a busy night." "I didn't do anything wrong," Roy insisted. "We have a witness," the sheriff said calmly. "A 6-year-old witness with your handprint on her arm. We have your boot print in the dirt by a broken fence, and we have a very angry horse who disagrees with you." Roy's face turned red. "That horse is mine. That family stole him from me. Records from the Tulsa auction say you were just a bidder. You didn't buy anything. Mike Fletcher bought that horse, fair and square. You have no claim to him." Roy had no words. He just glared at the ground. "Roy Dawson," Sheriff Hayes said, "you are under arrest for criminal trespass, attempted grand theft, and assault in the 4th degree. You have the right to remain silent." She put handcuffs on his wrists. The metal was cold. They put him in the back of her truck. The sun was just starting to come up when Sheriff Hayes pulled back into the Fletcher's driveway. Mike was on the porch drinking coffee. Lily was beside him, already dressed. They walked down to the sheriff's truck. Roy sat in the back, not looking at them. "It's done," Sheriff Hayes said. "He's under arrest. He'll go before a judge later today." "Thank you," Mike said. The word felt too small for the relief he felt. Sheriff Hayes looked at Lily. "Are you doing okay, Lily?" Lily nodded. She looked at Roy in the truck. He looked smaller now. Not scary, just sad and angry. "Is he going to jail?" "For a while, yes," the sheriff said. "He needs to understand what he did was very wrong, and he won't be allowed to come near you or Boone ever again." Lily walked over to the barn. Boone was looking out over his stall door. She scratched his favorite spot between his ears. "He's gone, Boone. The sheriff got him. We're safe." Boone nudged her hand softly. Sheriff Hayes walked over to join them. "You know, in all my years, I've never seen anything like this horse. He saved those kids in Colorado. He saved you from that dog. And last night, he saved you again. He's a hero through and through." "He's just Boone," Lily said. The sheriff smiled. "Maybe that's what makes him a hero." She turned to Mike. "There will be some paperwork. You and Lily might have to tell your story to the county attorney, but it's just a formality. The case is very clear." Mike nodded. "Whatever we need to do." "The story is going to get out," Sheriff Hayes said gently. "A man trying to steal a famous horse from a little girl in the middle of the night. Reporters will want to talk to you." Mike sighed. He had known this was coming. "We'll handle it." After Sheriff Hayes left, taking Roy away, Mike and Lily ate breakfast. The morning felt different. It felt calm. The danger was really gone. Later that day, Mike fixed the broken fence post. Lily helped by holding the nails. Boone watched from the pasture, grazing on the fresh green grass. As Mike hammered the last nail, he looked at his daughter and their horse. He thought about the long chain of events that brought them here. A wildfire, a lost horse, a dusty auction, a mean dog, a greedy man. It all led to this quiet moment, to a fixed fence, to a safe home. "You know, Lily," Mike said, "Sheriff Hayes is right. Boone is a hero. But so are you. You saw his heart when no one else did. You stood up for him. That's a different kind of brave." Lily smiled. She tossed an apple core into the grass for Boone. He trotted over and ate it. "We protect each other," she said. And that, Mike thought, was the whole story. 2 days after Roy's arrest, a blue car with a satellite dish on top pulled into the driveway. A woman with a microphone and a man with a camera got out. Mike was feeding the chickens. He saw them and walked over. "Mr. Fletcher, I'm Sarah Bell from Channel 8 News. We heard about what happened with your horse and your daughter. Would you be willing to talk to us?" Mike looked at the house. He could see Lily's face in the window. He sighed. "Okay, but my daughter doesn't have to talk if she doesn't want to." "Of course," Sarah said. Lily did want to talk. She came outside holding Boone's halter. Boone was right behind her. The reporter's eyes got wide. "Oh my. So, this is Boone. Hello, fella." She did not try to touch him. She was smart. They set up the camera in front of the pasture. Sarah asked Mike questions. Mike told the story simply. He talked about the auction. He talked about Lily seeing something special. He talked about the dog, and about Sheriff Hayes recognizing Boone. Then Sarah knelt down to talk to Lily. "Lily, can you tell me why you wanted Boone at that auction?" Lily looked at Boone, then at the reporter. He was sad and tired. Everyone else was laughing, but he just needed a friend. "And what about when the man came at night? Weren't you scared?" "I was a little scared," Lily said honestly. "But I was more scared for Boone, so I went outside. Boone got really brave. He broke the fence to make the man go away." "He protected you," Sarah said. "He always protects me," Lily said. "And I protect him." The story aired that night at 6 o'clock. It showed pictures of Boone. It showed Lily brushing him. It told the whole story. The fire in Colorado, the auction, the dog, the arrest. They called it "The Horse Who Found His Hero" and "The Girl Who Found Her Horse." The next morning, the mailbox was full. It was not just bills. There were envelopes with colorful stamps, letters. Mike brought them inside. He and Lily sat at the kitchen table and opened them. One letter was from a class in Missouri. "Dear Lily, we read about you and Boone. We are glad you are both safe. We drew pictures." The letter had 20 drawings of horses and girls. One letter was from an older man in Colorado. "I remember reading about Lightning's valor after the fire. I cried when I heard he was lost. Thank you for giving him a home. You have a good heart." Another letter was from a girl in Texas. "I have a pony. I love him so much. You are brave." Lily read each one carefully. "People are being nice," she said. "They are," Mike said. He was surprised. He thought the attention would be bad, but this part felt good. That weekend, cars started to drive by the farm slowly. Some people stopped. They did not get out. They just looked from the road, pointed, and smiled. A few families parked and walked up to the fence. A woman with 2 little boys called out, "Excuse me, are you Lily?" Lily was in the pasture with Boone. She walked over to the fence. "Yes. We were in town visiting family. We saw the news. My boys just wanted to see Boone. Is that okay?" "It's okay," Lily said. Boone walked up and stood beside her. The little boy's eyes got huge. "He's big," one said. "He's nice," Lily said. She held out her hand. Boone lowered his head and let the boys pet his nose very gently. "Thank you," the mother said. "He's beautiful." More people came over the next week. Not crowds, just a few each day. They brought carrots for Boone. They brought cards for Lily. Mike always stayed close, but everyone was respectful. One afternoon, Sheriff Hayes came back. She was not in her official truck. She was in her own car. "Just visiting as a friend," she said. She handed Lily a small, flat package. "This came to the office for you." Lily opened it. It was a photograph in a frame. The picture was of 3 smiling teenagers, 2 boys and a girl. On the back it said, "To Lily, thank you for taking care of our hero. From the kids he saved in Colorado, Ben, Ava, and Cody." Lily held the picture close. She showed it to Boone. "Look, Boone, they remember you." Boone sniffed the glass of the frame. Sheriff Hayes smiled. "Their parents called me. They are so happy he's safe. They said they can sleep better at night knowing he ended up with someone like you." Mike made lemonade and they all sat on the porch. "So, what happens with Roy?" Mike asked. "He pleaded guilty," Sheriff Hayes said. "He's going to spend some time in jail. Then he'll be on probation for a long time. A judge told him he is never to contact your family or come within 100 miles of this farm." He agreed. "Good," Mike said. The reporter Sarah Bell called a few days later. "The story is going national," she told Mike. "A big morning show wants to do a short piece. Is that still okay?" Mike looked out the window. Lily was lying on her back in the grass, reading a book. Boone was grazing beside her, keeping her in the shade. "As long as they don't come to the farm," Mike said. "We need some peace now." "They can use the video we already shot," Sarah said. "That's perfect. Thank you, Mike." Mike hung up the phone. He joined Lily in the pasture. He lay down in the grass next to her. Boone walked over and stood above them both, like a furry, gentle umbrella. "Are you tired of all this, Lily? The letters? The people?" Lily thought for a minute. "No, they're not coming to see something strange. They're coming to see something good. They're coming to see Boone, and that's okay." Mike put his arm around her. His quiet farm wasn't so quiet anymore, but it was filled with something new. It was filled with a story of kindness that people wanted to be near, and for the first time, he understood that maybe sharing that wasn't so bad. The first snow of winter came quietly in the night. In the morning, the world was white and soft. Lily put on her big boots and coat and ran to the barn. Boone was in his stall, cozy under a thick blanket. He nickered when he saw her. "Snow, Boone," Lily said, her breath making clouds in the cold air. She showed him a handful of the white powder. He sniffed it, then sneezed. Lily laughed. This was their life now. Not the life from the news stories or the letters. Their real life. It was morning chores and school and quiet afternoons. 2 whole years had passed since the auction in Tulsa. Boone was not the same horse. His ribs did not show anymore. His coat was thick and shiny. His muscles were strong from running in the pasture. But his eyes were the same, gentle and watchful. Mike finished milking the cow and joined Lily in the barn. He scratched Boone's neck. "He looks good, doesn't he?" "He looks happy," Lily said. She fed Boone a carrot. He crunched it loudly. "He is happy," Mike said. "We all are." The story of the hero horse and the little girl had spread far, but after a while the news trucks stopped coming. The letters slowed to a trickle. Life settled into a good, quiet rhythm. People in town still smiled at them in the grocery store. Sometimes a family would drive out on a Saturday to say hello. Mike and Lily always welcomed them. One sunny afternoon in spring, a car pulled up. A woman and a young girl got out. The girl looked about Lily's age. She held a bag of apples. "Hello?" the woman called. "Lily?" Lily was brushing Boone by the fence. She waved. "Hi." The woman walked over. "This is my daughter, Chloe. We read about Boone in a book at the library. She wanted to meet him. Is that all right?" "Sure," Lily said. She patted Boone's side. "This is Boone. He's very friendly." Chloe's eyes were wide. She held out an apple. "Can I give this to him?" "Put it on your flat hand like this," Lily instructed, "so he doesn't get your fingers by mistake." Chloe did as she was told. Boone's lips tickled her palm as he took the apple. Chloe giggled. He's so big, she whispered. He's the best horse, Lily said. The two girls stood by the fence, talking about horses and school. The mothers talked nearby. After about half an hour, Chloe and her mother said thank you and left. Lily climbed onto the fence rail. Boone stood beside her, letting her lean on him. Mike walked over. You were good with her. You showed her how to be safe. I remember when I didn't know how to do that, Lily said. Now I do. That was the lesson that settled deep in Lily's heart. It was not a loud lesson. It was a quiet knowing. She had learned that true strength was not about being the biggest or the loudest. Boone was strong because he was brave and loving. She was strong because she was kind and saw the truth when others did not. Sometimes the quietest person could see what mattered first. One evening after dinner, Lily and Mike sat on the porch swing. Boone was in the pasture, grazing as the sun went down. The sky was orange and purple. Do you ever think about that day at the auction? Mike asked. What if we had just left? Lily watched Boone. He lifted his head and looked right at her, as if he knew they were talking about him. We couldn't leave, she said simply. He was waiting for us. Mike put his arm around her. You were right. About everything. You saw what he really was. He saw what I really was too, Lily said. A friend. The summer came again, hot and bright. On the first day of summer break, Lily's morning routine was the same. She got up early. She went to the barn. She gave Boone his breakfast grain. She brushed him until his coat shone. She led him out to the pasture. Have a good day, she said, giving him one last pat. Boone nudged her shoulder. Then he turned and trotted out into the field. He ran a big, happy circle, kicking up his heels just because he could. He was not weak. He was not tired. He was full of life. Lily smiled. She walked back to the house to help her dad with the rest of the chores. She could hear the soft sound of Boone munching grass behind her. Their story was not an adventure anymore. It was not in the newspapers. It was something better. It was everyday life. It was trust. It was knowing that no matter what, they had each other. Lily and Boone were more than a girl and her horse. They were a team. They were family. And they would be friends forever.